Right. Welcome, good afternoon, Veterans Affairs Committee meeting, Tuesday, June 3rd, 2025. Attendance has been taken. First order of business is approval of the minutes from March 4th, 2025. I make a motion. Motion by Tom, second by Robert. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Aye. All opposed? So moved. First order of business, Veterans Service Agency report. Director Frank McClement. How are you, sir?
Hello, sir. Good afternoon, folks. Our report has been distributed to the committee. I don't want to go through it line by line. As you can see, we've stayed quite busy. Also attached to that report is the calendar and activities summary for the peer-to-peer program, which you can also see we continue to stay very busy with. We haven't met in a while, so we wanted to just keep you all abreast of what we have going on. Just a couple of things to note. Our claim inquiries and our requests for assistance and representation still remains extremely busy. Right now, my calendar is towards the end of July for clients coming into the office. You can see even already through the end of May, we've had 208 walk-ins. That's just people walking into the office looking for assistance. Even though we operate on an appointment basis, what we'll do is then we'll just talk with them, see what they're trying to do. If it's something easy and we can fix it, we'll do it. If not, we'll set them up with an appointment, give them what they need to come up with and meet with them later to follow up. So really very busy there. We take advantage of any training opportunity that we can get at no cost through New York State, and as well as participate in a number of different events. So the committee is aware. I also attend as much as possible the County American Legion meeting, which is held once a month. And at that meeting is supposed to be representatives from every post throughout the county, every American Legion post. So I maintain a tight liaison with them. The VFW is structured slightly differently. They skip county level and go right to district, and their meetings aren't necessarily like that. Sometimes they're far away. We're not going to those, but I have contact with the representatives from the VFW organization and do maintain a liaison with them as well. So, any questions on our report or on any of our activities or anything like that? Okay. I think that's everything on that for me. I'll stay here because I know there's more to talk about, but
So you're gonna discuss the YMCA stuff.
yes, sir. That's really what I'd like to get out to everybody here. For those that are new to the board, the Veterans Committee, a couple of years ago, we leveraged our peer-to-peer grant and we did a health and wellness program. Supervisor Richardson and myself were kind of led the charge along with Amy Hughes and Michael Prezioso with a local gym where we sponsored membership for a number of veterans, but we were kind of limited as to the number of people we could serve and whatnot. And just before COVID, I had engaged a conversation with the Saratoga Y to try to see if there's something that we could partner on for a wellness program for vets. Fast forward, obviously, we know everything got put on ice during COVID, and it took us a little while, and they had some leadership changes to kind of re-engage. But we've come up with something. We've just signed a minor contract with the Y, and we come up with something that I think is pretty special. And I think it's going to be very successful. We are partnering with the Y to offer a discounted membership program utilizing our grant funds. The Y has committed to offering all veterans that participate through our program, they're automatically going to qualify for 50% financial assistance through the Y. The peer grant is going to pick up 25%, and then the veteran will be responsible for 25% so that they have a little bit of skin in the game. That was one of the lessons we learned the last time. With that, they'll have access to all Saratoga Ys, all their facilities, all their activities, all their classes. And we're also going to do some specialized, we're going to have bi-weekly meetings for the veterans through our group that participate, and they'll have to come to one of the two throughout the month, just kind of for an accountability thing, get together with other vets. We're going to come up with some programming ideas that we can have at those meetings. But we're very excited to do this. We think it's going to increase participation in our peer program, maybe attract some of the younger vets, I'm hoping. That's certainly a population that we always struggle to connect with is our younger veterans. I think a lot of people envision the vets that we're serving primarily are these younger guys and gals just getting out of service, but we might see them to do a claim and then they're gone. So we'd like to try to engage those folks and offer something that might be of interest to them. If somebody wants to have a family membership, they'll just have to cover the difference between whatever we would charge them based upon how the numbers fall with the program. But the YMCA is also offering their normal financial assistance package. So if somebody wants to provide us with their financials, they might qualify for family assistance and a reduced cost membership as well. So the Y is not going to change that part of their process, but for any vet that comes through us, they're automatically giving them the 50% financial assistance, which is very generous in my opinion. And then it brings the cost of the program down to us considerably. So I think with what we've allocated through the minor contract, we're going to be able to assist a good number of veterans. And because they have so many locations, unfortunately, the only Y in Saratoga County that isn't part of this is the Clifton Park Y, because they're part of the capital region and not the Saratoga. Don't ask me how that all works, but
Blame it on Phil.
yeah, we will. We'll blame that on Supervisor Barrett. But no, I think that's like just the Y has different networks. It just so happens that the Clifton Park location is in the capital region network. But if this works and this is a success, next year, perhaps we can reach out to their leadership and say, hey, here's what we're doing with Saratoga. We want to bring this location on board. Can you do the same thing? And we'll see if we can do that. The beauty of the partnership is that the Y is also working with us considerably to help us with the accountability piece. We're going to have access to their software so that we'll be able to see who's using it, who's not using it. If they're not using it, Aaron is going to reach out to the individual and say, hey, are there barriers? Are you struggling with transportation? We see you're not going, so what is it that we can help with? And if they're just not using it, then we'll take them off our rolls as appropriate. But looking forward to the program. I've already met with Christine briefly about they're going to help us get a flyer together and stuff, but we're going to do a little bit with the press once we get up and running and try to promote what we're doing. And the Y is really excited about it. We're really excited about it. So we had a lot of success the last time. And so I'm hoping that we can take this and kind of bring it the next step and carry it further. And it kind of goes towards what we're trying to do with the peer program and do a little bit, I'll call them slightly broader brush initiatives, where we're doing a lot of smalls right now. We do a lot of events where she gets 6, 8 people. A lot of them are the same people that have been coming to stuff for a long time. We're hoping if we can get out and do more wellness related stuff, do some different things that are a little bit broader, we can reach more veterans and serve more people, and then, get in contact with them that way. We're also in the midst, that kind of goes along with this, in a partnership with Cornell Cooperative Extension and taking over a section of a garden over at the 4-H training center as well. So we're hoping we'll figure out a way to make all this stuff kind of work together and have an effort towards health and wellness over here, and then we'll work on education and stuff over here, and just keep pushing forward that way. Any questions on the program?
I have a quick question, Frank. So if I've got a veteran who wants to get involved, should he contact your office?
Yes. So memberships for the veterans that are going to be subsidized will need to be initiated through our office. And what will happen is Erin has the YMCA's application. She'll get them to fill that out. We'll collect their DD-214. We're also requiring residency in Saratoga County, because this funding, previously we were one of a very few number of counties that got the Dwyer funds. It's since been made permanent and every county gets funding. So if they, if another county wants to do something similar, they can use their funds and do it. But we're going to focus our funds on Saratoga County vets right now. And my intent is if this is a success, and say Albany County wants to mirror it with their local YMCA's, we'll give them the template and they can go and meet with leadership and do what they want to do with it. But I'm going to focus on our vets first in this one, just because it is a financial expense to us, and we'll go from there.
Yes. These veterans, we all set squared away on that.
It's getting better. It's getting better. I will say that we have had some late entries, but we got pretty much the entire calendar for the year scheduled out, with the exception of the town of Saratoga.
Which our historians.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see it there.
Call.
Sorry, Mr. Chairman. No, and Stillwater says to be determined, but we actually already have Stillwater's veteran. Megan didn't realize we're rolling their last selection. It got canceled due to a snowstorm. I think it was a year ago, February, we had to cancel for Stillwater. So we're going to bring them back in December and hope it doesn't snow. So just the way the schedule fell. And then in October, we're not having a ceremony because we're going to focus our efforts on something to do with the 250th. We're working on, Steve and I have been working on perhaps a small monument dedication near our county monument at the National Cemetery. So we might do a small ceremony there in conjunction with Siege Weekend, there's a lot of activities going on around that time. So we'll have to figure out a time that works and is not competing with what Lauren is already planning and everything. But we're looking forward to doing something with that.
Other business. So Aaron Cassidy, full time now.
We haven't gotten that there yet, sir, but we had a conversation, the county administrator and myself. Our goal is to bring Aaron on full time right now. We do have some money in the budget with the grant, so there wouldn't be a budget impact to the board this year. The way I envision her role, is going to still continue to be our peer program coordinator. But this will speak to my ideas and desire to kind of do some broader initiatives with the program to touch more vets and not spend so much time on smaller events where we're getting, small amounts in the same people that we've had over and over. Because I want to have her dedicate the other half of her time as a women veteran coordinator and veteran service officer for the county. So as it stands right now, we do have a female who's accredited in our office. That's Megan Cutbush, but Megan is really a supporting role and doesn't exactly have all of the technical expertise that somebody who's dedicated to doing VSO stuff would have. So we do have an option if a female veteran would only meet with a woman, but it's not ideal. With Erin, she's a female veteran. She's experienced with the process, having gone through it herself, having transitioned out of the military herself. She's learned a lot about resources and programs specific to women veterans through her role as the peer program coordinator. And she'll also be able to offer that unique and dedicated perspective to female veterans. We actually have a lot involved in our programs and stuff. And she'll help us with other veteran needs as well. So bringing her on full time, I think, is a big asset to our organization. Erin, for those of you that don't realize this or might not know, has done an absolutely fantastic job since she's been on board. In her 2-year tenure as a part-time employee, she's increased participation in our program by over 200%. I mentioned in the past here, we have an over 88% approval rating per our program participants, which is kind of unheard of. And we have the benchmark program in New York State. And so I think for us to hang on to her as an asset is a no-brainer. And we're looking forward to bigger and better stuff through the rest of the year and into next year.
I will echo those comments. I work with Erin on numerous projects, and believe me, she's an asset to keep around.
Yep.
Very good. So,
Yep.
and I was just going to go one more thing. Erin has a function on the 19th. You can just tell about the recognition for the peer-to-peer mentors that she has a
Yes,
program for.
we are scheduling. We try to do it once a year. So as part of this program, we have veteran volunteers who are mentors. They sign on to help veterans who might be struggling with transition, life challenges, whatever the case may be, and they volunteer their time. We do subsidize their efforts by paying for reimbursing for meals and for mileage if they meet with their veterans over coffee or lunch or something like that. But they do volunteer their time, and sometimes it's a lot. Our model is similar to an AA sponsorship. So sometimes it can be a little bit of a heavy lift for those volunteers, and we do have several dedicated individuals. And some of them go into our jail and meet with our incarcerated veterans. So they're doing a lot. We try to do an appreciation dinner once a year and have an event. This year, we're going to host it at the Basin over in Schuylerville by Fort Hardy Park on the river. And just as a thank you to all of them, Erin's bought them all a gift, and I know Supervisor Murray is going to attend. If there's any other supervisors that would like to attend from the Veterans Committee, we would love to have you. Just let me know, and I'd be glad to make sure that we have no lobster tails this year, but we'll do something. We'll get a cheeseburger or something for it. But no. I think it'll be a nice dinner and a nice event. It's a nice way to say thanks for all of the dedication that they put in, because the program's really what the vets make of it. It's not, we can do all the planning in the world, but if they don't show up and they don't make it happen, it's
Right.
nothing. So, and on top of that, sir, I do want to mention we had a lot of leftovers from the employee appreciation event, which was fantastic. And the county administrator was generous enough to send it over to my office, which looks like a warehouse right now, but we got through it. We distributed a lot of the food we sent to the men's and women's shelters here in Ballston Spa. I also distributed some to the American Legion that supports us every month here at our Honor Deceased Veteran Ceremony, as well as the VFW down the road. And then we have a lot of burgers and dogs that we're going to have an open house event Friday, just because the stuff is perishable. So we were already having a benefits review class that we do once a month on Friday. So we put it out on Facebook. Ann was kind enough to drop what she was doing and get something out on Facebook today. Just to invite anybody who has any questions on benefits or just wants to come for a free lunch. So once again, anybody in the room, we got plenty of hamburgers and hot dogs and chips and soda and stuff like that. So we're just going to serve that stuff. We'll put some tunes on, set a tent up in our parking lot, and we've had success doing those. People see us and they see it's a veteran. Oh, I didn't know that was a veteran's office down there. They pop in off the road and stop in. So it'll put the food to good use, and we won't waste it. And hopefully we'll see some new vets.
Good work, Frank.
All right, thank you, sir.
One question, I'm just thinking here. So there's a YMCA out here in Malta.
Yep.
At roundabouts. Is there another one in Saratoga Springs?
Yeah, so there's Malta, Saratoga Springs, Wilton,
The one in Greenwich.
Greenwich,
With the
and Corinth, right?
That's
There's a
right.
location in Corinth. Yeah.
Right.
There, yeah. So
You're too fast for me. Wilton, Corinth,
Greenwich.
Malta, and Greenwich.
And Saratoga Springs.
and Saratoga Springs is right on West Ave, right before the high school.
Okay.
And
Greenwich.
yeah,
Would that be part of the?
that's part of the Saratoga
They're
Y.
actually part of the Saratoga Y.
It's sort of like Clifton Park is part of the Capital Region Y, which primarily is around the Albany area.
If we have a veteran in Schuylerville, for example's sake, it would be easy for them to travel across the river to Greenwich.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
That was actually the really impressive thing. When we did this the first time, if you recall, there was a gym that Dr. Prezioso had a relationship with. It was one location. It was in Half Moon. I mean, if you're in Corinth, you're not going, So this way they can go to any location, but we are gonna have, you know, 1 or 2 meetings a month, and they can pick and choose which one that they can get together and have some camaraderie with the rest of the group, but check in with us as well. So there's a lot more flexibility, and the cost is a lot less per individual. So, you know, the Y just has I was really, I don't know if anybody here is a member of the Y, but they offer so much stuff. It was crazy.
Do you know what the annual cost is?
No,
No.
no, I don't.
Who'd you deal with? Who's the CEO?
I didn't deal with the CEO, but I dealt with a woman named Jenna at the Saratoga Y. We dealt with probably 6 different people that worked in different areas over there. So, and Aaron did a lot of the coordination, and then we had a couple of meetings. We just had a kickoff meeting of what it's all going to look like last week or the week before, and we just signed our contracts and got insurance. So we're ready to put it out there now.
Any other questions?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I just wanted to bring to the committee's attention something Frank's been working on. I've been trying to help and this will bring joy to your heart, Mr. Chairman. We are working on trying to get a Navy band on our siege weekend at SPAC. We've reached out to elected officials to try and help us. Frank's been in touch with the Navy. Frank, anything on that or whatever you want to say on it?
You know, for those that might have been around when we threw the last couple of concerts, similar situation where we were waiting on SPAC, waiting on the band, and we all had a plan as if it was going to happen, and we got lucky twice in a row. But in this particular case, looks like we've got the support from SPAC. They really want to be involved in the 250th if they can. We're far enough into the season with the siege weekend to where I don't think it's going to interfere too much with Live Nation stuff, because that's the big sticking point with SPAC. The Navy Band Northeast came and did a concert with us back in 16, I think it was. We brought them. And I can't believe it's almost 10 years. But yeah, Teresa's looking at me because we did that thing. We worked on that together. But they're familiar with the venue. There's still a couple of them that were left that were here. They really are excited about the venue and coming back. Of course, we treated them well when they were here. You know, they're basically waiting to hear from higher up the food chain whether or not they're going to have any other commitments that they're going to have to, you know, take before they come see us. So they want to do it. It's tentatively on their calendar, but they're waiting. And I think that's where Steve is trying to help.
And that's the 250th anniversary that week of the formation of the U.S. Navy?
Yeah, I think it's that. Yes. So
You're correct.
it's very close. Yes. So our fingers are crossed.
So when we did that years ago, people were able to walk in at no cost. Are we thinking about doing that also?
Yes.
I mean, those are great concerts that we did.
No, we're really looking forward to it. It'll probably look a little bit different, but better.
Yes.
Because we've already been talking with our reenactors. I think Steve and Lauren's vision is, it's going to be on the Sunday, so at like 2:00, because we're hoping for the warmest part of the day in October. So, if we have siege weekend and we're able to pull this off, festivities will shut down in Schuylerville. Everybody will transition over to SPAC. That's an active participant. We hope to have the reenactors, the cannons on site. We will definitely reach out to the Navy, which the reactor and the training facility is back up and running. So the sailors are back. When we did the Navy band the last time, we had sailors in uniform as ushers, and the public just loved interacting with the active duty sailors. It was great. I don't know what the attraction to the sailors was personally. They enjoyed it. That's all.
Good work, Frank.
Thank you, sir.
To you and your team also. That
I'll make a motion to.
Tom's got a motion to adjourn. We have a second. Gary, all in favor? Aye.
Thank you, Chairman.